Welcome back to a very exciting episode of the Pumpernickel podcast.
Pumpernickel!
There's been a lot of celebration here amongst us in our personal lives.
Lots of stupidity.
Lots of stupidity. Well, as usual, this is Elvin.
Eddy. Black Mike.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, and it's all job related for us.
This is the job episode.
This is the job episode again. We did quitting season like episode 3 or something. Yeah. I think it was like 3 or 4.
This is quitting season part 2, New Beginnings.
This is hiring season.
A New Hope.
A New Hope. Yeah. Quitting season, A New Hope. That is the name. Like, it's already been decided. And so, yeah, this is, we're just going through our personal successes, man. Like, for me, it's a new job. Like, I'm finally out.
Yeah, no, that's...
Appreciate it. It was a long road coming, you know what I mean? There was a lot I had to learn. It's an entirely different field, but I'm happy, man. It's web development. Really, it's development in general, meaning that it could be software or it could be web, depending on what direction I go into.
It's whatever you want.
Right, exactly. Why not do both? Exactly. So I promised them in the interview exactly what I said. I'm just going to crank out work, bro.
So we're popping bottles of champagne.
At the wedding, yeah. Somebody mama getting danced with.
Yours.
And mine too.
Oh, we're popping bottles Friday night.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I will most likely be, I can't be drunk that night, bro.
Yeah, you can.
I can't. Bro, I'm officiating the wedding the next day.
So
You can't be drunk the night before.
Pop some ass, bro. You good to go.
Up there with red eyes.
No, I got that first.
You take.
I got that first cheers, man. You be good.
Right,
you
exactly.
you up straight.
You take right there to be your lawful. Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Bruh, you'll be fine.
No, bro.
You'll crush some caffeine pills.
I'm crushing
some
cans
ibuprofen.
as soon as the wedding is done. I'm gonna make an embarrassment out of that wedding as soon as I'm done with. As soon as I'm done there.
The way the efficient should be.
Exactly. It's like, do really well at first and then have people nod their head in disapproval as you sit on the ground with a beer in your hand and another half-open beer in your hand.
Do the free-boarded diagram.
Exactly.
What I wanted.
Contemplating life's complications while I'm 3 deep.
No. All right. So I have not read this letter yet.
Oh, yeah. My letter of resignation.
Elvin got a new job, so he's submitting his formal.
So the other two gentlemen have read, all 3 guys have read this except for me. I'm going to do my best to go through this as straight face as I can without laughing. We're going to see how far I get.
Damn.
All right.
See how they do the kid.
When I first started here, things were hectic. There was a lot going on. And as a new hire, I was lost in the hurricane of changes and updates.
Pause. Why he read it like he came out of Degrassi, bro?
I'm trying to go as straight laced as I can.
Oh, okay. I guess. You reading it like somebody reads a letter on TV? My beloved Eleanor.
That's basically what that is. It's not a resignation letter.
Nah, don't do that, dog.
That's a you can fit any girl.
It's a breakup letter.
It's a breakup letter. Continue listening.
As I finish, we'll prove this is a breakup letter. Just by my tone of voice, we'll know.
Douche canoe.
I learned a lot about what it means to find your place, especially when there is none set in front of you. As you know, in that time, we have all seen some rough patches, and I thank you for being a source of inspiration for me when times were hardest. As my supervisor, your bright spirit and constant motivation and development is something that I will carry for me for the rest of my life. I'm gonna make it through. As you might have guessed,
you see how you do that.
This is my formal letter of resignation from blank. As I learn and grow as a person, I will remember the good lessons I learned from the friends that I have made along the way. Those things may have not turned out the way anyone could have envisioned. I believe that we will all find our place. I would especially...
Why you got the fist ball?
I'm trying to hold it back,
That's what you're saying, man.
I'm trying to hold it back, man.
We were... Continue.
All right. Deep breathe. I would especially like to thank you for having me as part of your team. Had I had you as my supervisor from the start of my career, I think my trajectory at the company would have been entirely different. And I might still be here.
AKA, have we met at different times under different circumstances?
Oh, don't do that. No, hold on.
I am now divorcing you. I am proud to have worked for blank for it seeing me
in me.
For it seeing in me the potential. You have this memorized, don't you? For it seeing in me the potential to make a change, and I appreciate the time and patience you have shown in training me. I will do my best to ensure that all my projects are completed. Blah 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 blah. Sincerely, Elvin E. Money Samuel. Suck a dick.
The last line there, it wasn't included in the actual letter.
As you might have guessed, Deuces.
But I thought it got the point across, man. Because
oh man,
I like my
tough
supervisor
sweating.
and I like my team. I just don't like what I do.
Bro, you sandwich like nice, the bad news in the middle, and then nice again.
Right.
I'm sweating, holding back the laughter on that.
Yeah, you gave the bad news as it's supposed to be given, right?
Right,
good news, bad news.
I had to clench my fist like I was biting my lip. So I just hold back the joy.
But you can't disagree. It's basically a breakup letter.
Like
things were hectic.
If you
we learned, we grew.
If you take out the word, whatever your company name was, and insert Beverly, it's a divorce letter.
Who dating the Beverly?
You now. Well, no, apparently you ain't no more.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
You know,
I had to break up with you before your name
this is a
is
breakup,
Beverly.
yeah. As you may have guessed, Beverly, this is a breakup letter.
Damn.
Mike, am I correct or incorrect?
Pretty spot on,
man. Yeah. Look, we've grown.
Yeah,
I met you at a different time, different circumstances. I don't know.
But we can still be friends.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is the smoothest process. I'll get my stuff out when you're not there. Like, that's basically what you said at the end. Damn.
I'm like taking out of the house to grab my stuff. She see the Uber drive off, but you in the back, like, as you look over your shoulder.
Get the Paul Walker song in the background.
You, man.
Oh no! What are you doing?
Being an idiot.
Why you on the phone all the time,
Give me
bro?
this.
You got no respect for the podcast.
I'm sorry, guys.
You got to do better, Sanchez.
But yeah,
I gotta do
that's
better.
You need some
my
growth.
new beginnings. And on Eddie's end, it's the end for one stage of his life.
Well, yeah, this is the last week of working for me.
Ever.
Because he's that rich.
Because I'm hitting retirement at age 27.
Right,
and
because
it's,
the bread long.
I'm gonna be over in Thailand and Mexico for the rest of the life. No,
No.
I will be leaving for Mexico, but
Oh, you are, yeah.
But you will be returning.
I'll be returning. Yeah,
Oh, I was about to say, damn, man.
hopefully.
Didn't even tell nobody.
No, yeah, I'm out Monday, but I'll be back.
How long will you be out?
It's a week and a half. I'll be back the 28th,
All right.
so I should be here the 28th. You should hear back from me.
Should.
I don't like that sentence.
Well, you never know,
It's
right?
Mexico, bro. It could
Well,
be
it's life. I could not wake up tomorrow. I don't know. Things happen.
Moving on.
Any which way, yes.
They have started EdFest at Eddy's work,
Yeah,
which
it's a week-long celebration of me.
of ED, which is erectile dysfunction.
Well, not erectile dysfunction.
erectile dysfunction ward.
Some people may have confused it for erectile dysfunction, and that's a serious situation for men, older men, and I don't know what age.
Bro, we don't have to be that woke. Erectile dysfunction sucks. We all get it. And it's also kind of funny to laugh at.
Unless you got it.
Unless you got it, then it's brutal.
It's not a funny.
Then it is not a laughing matter.
All of a sudden, the jokes die. Huh?
Yeah, like that. Like
All
that,
of a sudden, you're by yourself.
like the D does.
Oh, that's a lonely existence.
I'm blue, double D, double die.
Which one are you taking? Hey, which one are you taking though?
My balls are blue,
You know, and I don't know. God damn it, Mike.
Who mad is this? For a man with no aspirations to have kids, he's capable.
He came in hard, yeah.
He come in hot with a dad joke.
But I thought about this, and it's kind of fucked up that I thought about it. But like, which one would you choose, Alzheimer's or ED?
ED. Nigga, are you
Alzheimer's.
I
crazy?
don't know, man.
Huh?
You know how exciting Alzheimer's would be? Everything's new to you.
That would suck.
It might be
I don't know, because you don't know what's going, but you still know what works.
Every day is confusing. It's not like it's just a blank slate and you keep like some memories.
Whoa,
It's like every day is confusing.
no, no, not to downplay anything. Like again, Alzheimer's horrible. ED would be better than Alzheimer's, but for the person itself, like you experiencing like
New things.
yeah, you probably won't care, but like people around you suffer greatly.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I would
Yeah,
say.
but you don't care.
But you do care because life sucks. Because you try to figure out why these people are crying. You don't know anything. Every day is confusing, and it's waking up with the.
All right, so in an isolated island by yourself,
that would suck even more.
no,
It would absolutely. What? Especially because ED doesn't matter on an isolated island. You don't have anything going on. You try to build a scenario around it. You should have thought this is why we have a week before the goddamn podcast to think out all of these ideas ahead of time. God damn it, Sanchez! You done ruined another one.
That's what you do with jokes that you want to stop. Elvin. You ruin it for everybody. Now we're all done here. We've cracked the ED joke.
And then that's the end of the episode. I'm like, what was with that last episode?
But no,
sucked.
bringing it back. I am very curious though why your job is like celebrating you leaving for a week. Like
They're tired of his ass.
I mean, I
That's actually a viewpoint I've not thought about. Probably true.
That nigga don't do no work. Every time I pass by the desk, I hear the Netflix sound.
I do work. It's hard making it look like you don't do work, but do work. You know what I mean?
I don't
Oh shit! Sorry.
No, it's a fine art. Making it look like you don't know what's going on, but at the same time, you can answer.
Do you have a full 8 hours day worth of real work?
Ever.
I refuse to.
That's a no.
Yeah, there it is.
I refuse to comment.
Not saying that your work that you do isn't important. It is, but I'm saying, do you?
No, I have worked all 8 hours. Yes.
I have worked all 8 hours is already a red flag of a statement. The fact that you had to find a way around it is a red flag.
Wait,
in and of itself.
all 8 hours in a week?
Yes, I've worked all 8 hours.
I've worked 8 out of 40 hours this week.
I have worked 40 hours. Yeah, for 50, or the a full calendar year.
Oh,
for 5
there's
years.
a couple F's in the middle of that sentence.
Well, there's vacation days and sick days.
Shut up, bro. But yeah, even going along them same lines, Black Mike on his way out, hopefully.
Yeah, dude. No, but it's fun. It's fun being out. Like,
yeah, there's a whole different mentality you have. Like you look at the world completely differently when you're on that when you're on the cusp of like leaving something that,
Greatness.
for
you're
better
on the
potential for greatness.
Edge of glory.
well, just something different. I think it's fun. It's been 5 years. I've enjoyed it, but it's time for some change.
Right.
You got to mix it up, and people there have been great. I've been content with my supervisor. My supervisor is also fine with me, and they tried to extend me for a year,
Yeah,
didn't
that's
work
what you
out, and
want.
it's in the past we've talked about it.
Possibly coming back.
We've talked about it's been offered to me along the course of 5 years to stay there as a long-term thing, and I've refused it. So this isn't like unexpected.
Right, exactly.
And I'm in a spot in my life where I haven't fucked up yet, so.
Knock on wood, yeah.
No.
Fuck it up now.
Well, I don't think you can fuck up. It's life. You just do what you gotta
Knock
do.
on wood, fam.
No, man. We haven't fucked up. I don't think anybody of us by fuck up, I mean, you're not in prison.
Bro, can you stop digging this ditch, bro?
It's getting pretty deep.
I'm saying you're not in prison. You haven't
I must go beyond.
you haven't had an unplanned pregnancy. You know what I mean?
Bro.
That was the worst of all.
None of us need that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying we haven't fucked
That's
up.
the one he knocked on, not the ruining life or the not having a job or finding no purpose. He heard baby and immediately knocked.
You heard the beat might skip.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
Nah,
I'm
no.
just saying. Yeah, no.
I'm just saying that's the issue. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the issue is you're saying it.
Exactly.
Well, like I
Just
said,
stop.
well, fine.
Yeah, you're
life is good.
STAHP. Snap.
Life's good.
I agree. Like I said, man, there were nights a month ago actually, there were nights where I could not go to bed because the looming idea of still being there was keeping me up at night.
I'm not going to comment on that because I still have that ongoing.
Exactly. Like, it scared me. Like, it was so much so that, like I said, it would literally keep me up. Like, I'd wake up even in the middle of the night and freak out.
I
It
got
was
that
stressful.
still.
Yeah, it was that stressful. And so the reality of this hasn't set until the first day I walk in. But it's awesome to finally be
As you
along
skip
the
in
path.
with your picnic basket?
Don't do that to me. Dog. But I told myself I was gonna go hard, man. Like he told, my new director
hustle hard.
is like, yeah, you don't have to go this hard. But I'm like, nah, like I'm trying to do the whole thing.
Trying to do it right.
Start, because it's exactly, it's an opportunity to
Trying to-
literally start fresh, and so you could do the things that you wanted to do the first time. So I'm gonna be coming in early, leaving late, and just doing as much as I can in the time that I'm there. And then even when I go home, planning on doing a lot. And so I told him,
Don't burn yourself out.
and that's exactly what he said. He was like, I've seen many programmers burn out, man. Don't do it. But I was just like, I'm going to start off setting this tone right. I'm not going to do this permanently, but I'm going to start off setting it right.
No,
So,
you should. You should.
right.
Which brings us to the question that my brother brought up earlier.
Right.
It's 2018. We got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. People got huge databases of information. We got Google. Why is it still this hard to connect people with employers? It took you a year. I'm on like 2 years. he's Black Mike's on.
Honestly, it took me 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Someone with college degrees, actual aspirations, and actual work ethic.
Right.
2 years to find a job.
But I think you were better than me because you have had offers.
Of just equal or lesser jobs.
Right, exactly. But they were just things. Which I'm not saying. I'm not knocking your point. Your point is right. I'm just saying that like, I think that it was a little different because mine was a complete career shift, right? So there was a lot of things I had to learn before I really started fully applying.
Regardless.
But I agree with that. Yeah, like it's tough, man. Like, and I think part of it is a couple of things, right? Because everything is so accessible with Twitter and all of that, where you can talk to people that you don't even know.
There's an oversaturation.
There's an oversaturation in the market, exactly. So there has to be more and more sophisticated ways to deal with people.
But it's not sophisticated though.
That's the opposite.
People have jobs whose job it is to literally put you in contact with an employer.
Right, and they still aren't good at that.
And they still aren't good at it.
Yeah.
Well, what would you expect them to be good at, though? If you look at the average American like job, like, well, let's say an average American is working, but on Netflix. So why would you expect a recruiter whose job is to find you a job to do a better job than you? You know?
That's a funny point. That is also valid. Like, why did I never thought about that? Like, why would you expect
him to work harder
to do
than
his
you?
job better than you do your job? Yeah, which is fair. That's true. Yeah, but it's true. Like, it's not wrong.
Eddie with that out of the office wisdom.
Exactly right. Eddie gonna be like the black dude from Waiting. Like every time somebody passes by, he just drops some knowledge on you and walk off. Yeah, exactly. It's just like he in the back sweeping for no reason because it's not like he works there. He's literally just sweeping. It's just like, hey,
Who's that guy?
Who is that guy?
That's Eddy Wardo.
Yeah, that's Eddy Wardo, man. Watch him out.
Wardo.
No.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, like it's just tough because there's that oversaturation. And what really hung me up initially was the ATS, applicant tracking systems. Everybody uses those now, so
they're garbage, man,
and they suck. So my argument is adding to your argument. It's even when you place people, it's not always good placement because you can't tell from a resume how good a person's gonna fit or how well they work. You know what I mean?
No, but you could. I wonder if there's a way we could have. Let's say you want to claim you can. Oh, I don't know. You can do web development to a certain degree. Or if there's a way where you can take an immediate test, not necessarily just for that job, but in general, that proves you have skill level
XYB, right? Like level 3.
Yeah.
Like this person took a test, got the certificate. This person didn't.
That's how software dev works. Like,
that's the only way then.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's only for that. Like for the rest of all these other jobs, it doesn't work that way. But specifically with software, there are ways to test. And the funny part is that those tests aren't always right, because just because you can't solve an algorithm does not mean that your day-to-day job doesn't have any. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the people who work at these companies cannot solve the stuff that they set you up for. It's like knowledge that they lost along the way. So it's like we do all of this setup initially for no reason.
But the test would be more so application based. Like here's a problem that you probably get on a regular day from someone. Like this is a real thing. Like I don't use engineering at work.
Right, exactly.
I'm not doing like beam load calculations all day.
I talked to one of my friends, my roommate who owns a house, Summers. I joke about it with him before. It's like he is a brilliant dude, really good at what he does, incredibly talented. And he doesn't use half of what his degree was. He's an engineer. He graduated from SPUSU with an engineering degree, mechatronics engineering.
You cash you?
Yeah. Don't do it. Yeah, exactly. I do that to them all the time. Hoot hoot me out. But for anybody who doesn't know, KSU launched on SPUSU, and that's why they hate that.
They consumed it.
Exactly, yeah. But aside from that, like I joke with him about that because he's a brilliant dude, and his job doesn't do half the stuff. I think the issue too is that half these jobs anybody can do. If you have the right teacher there, you know what I mean? Like within a month,
right trainer,
you could get anybody almost ramped up. I said that about my job. I was like, I could have done my job right now, what I do, in like late middle school, early high school. Like, right, exactly. It's like I didn't need half of these skills. If you had sat me down and had me figure it out, I would have been able to do this job without ever having walked into a college program.
What?
Yeah.
My first like long-term job out of college, I was using Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
Someone sat me down in a meeting to show me how to properly use Microsoft Paint.
It's incredible.
And I'm sitting here like, I'm in the meeting like,
Is this real?
Trying to
yeah,
hold
looking
it
at
back,
myself like, is this real life? Is this really happening right now?
Or is this fantasy?
I've been goofing.
Caught in the landslide.
I've been
Don't do this.
Okay, sorry.
goofing around in this like software for as long as I've been able to touch a computer, and I'm formally learning how to use it for a job that pays me an annual salary. Get out of here.
Right. That was the crazy part,
I
man.
could have did this job when I was 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's real life.
And there's people out there, like I told Mike jokingly that I saw this meme that was like, being a millennial is watching your supervisor who can barely open or being able to do everything while watching your supervisor who can barely open an Excel spreadsheet make 6 figures. And I was just like, it's brutal. And that's not knocking my supervisor because he's good, yeah, but it's just in general. Like
It happens.
Yeah.
it
It's
happens.
real.
It's a real thing. It's like this dude makes 6 figs.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry, are
can't-
we interrupting you, Sanchez?
Man, you are a nightmare today.
I
What is
don't
going
even
on?
know what that was. That was some random ass alarm.
What is going on, Sanchez?
Put your phone in the other room, young man.
You're gonna be the death of this podcast.
Oh my god!
Please silence all cellular devices.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is there a 6:36 p.m. alarm?
You're fired. You're on the podcast, bro.
Man, and we just lost a member, guys. We're looking for on the subject of jobs.
If anyone's looking for a career in podcasting,
Exactly. We can pay you $20 annually to join our podcast.
What if I just start doing that on full
to
time?
be fair though, the hours are fantastic.
Yeah, and you're around good company. Well, okay company. All right, they're not
Mediocre.
okay. They're decent. They're humans. They're humans.
They are humans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But the hours are great.
but the hours are fantastic. You meet for 1 hour a week.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
I do that. For $20 a year, I do that.
That's a lot of time though. You get up 52 hours for $20.
Depends what the hour is. If it's sitting around bullshit with your friends, yeah, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, with friends. Yeah.
Friends?
Yeah.
If it's sitting around with friends.
My friend.
My friends. But no, Black Mike and myself were discussing earlier so what's a good adjective for this? The horrendousness, the audacity, the audacity,
The monstrosity.
the monstrosity, if you will, of online applications.
Yeah.
Because people will ask you to submit either your LinkedIn profile, which, if you don't know, listening, contains all of your work experiences, all of your college and educational experiences and skill sets and people endorsing you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even keep up with LinkedIn, man.
Or they'll ask you to submit your resume,
Which
which
has all the same information.
sometimes more condensed, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then the next page, once you submit those things, is to fill out a formal application of what your work experiences are.
Yeah, that never made
What
that made
psychotic
sense.
son of a bitch is
But
doing
that
this?
doesn't make fucking sense in my head either. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
I've started applications and seen that and said, no,
Wow,
I'm
fuck
good.
it. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I have done the same. I've left applications because it had me re-enter it. I've left them because it's like, I've left some applications simply because it was like, tell us why you want to work here type stuff. Like it'd be like these long question and answer text
What do you
boxes.
think?
It's like, yeah, like, do you care?
It's
Somebody's
like,
gonna.
no.
You don't give a shit. Like you
Yeah.
don't care what I put in. It's not gonna make or break what I'm in here
This
for.
isn't
yeah.
Reeling Brothers. We're not having fun.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like, look,
I'm doing
I
data
want-
analysis.
Right. Like this is in line with my dreams. Like I want to be able to provide for myself, and this
Yeah, I was about
job
to say,
does
like,
it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I wanna build myself up for my career, but like at the end of the day, I got bills to pay. I need
Exactly.
to put food in my body.
Right,
Like,
and I can do this job well. Like,
pay me for it.
exactly. All I want is for you to pay me for it.
I once had
Food
a
in my body is good.
I once had a job application take
breathing
me
is
an
good.
hour.
Yes,
An hour.
they're
Dude,
getting
it
worse
takes so
too.
long. Yeah, like
They are getting worse.
Yeah, it's just like, why? Like here's my resume. This has everything on it that you need. My education, my job history, where I was, like all of my contact information. I should just be able to give this to you and then, maybe answer a couple of extra questions and then that be it.
But the issue is I think with all of that is because of these services that make it easier, like Monster and LinkedIn and not LinkedIn necessarily, Indeed, because LinkedIn at least lets you link up with the people that run
Oh,
it.
God
which
bless
is
LinkedIn
a
for
huge,
that.
yeah, which is a huge plus. But the other two, God bless. That's how I found the recruiter that got me this job was through
Yep.
LinkedIn.
God bless.
But Indeed and Monster and like all the ones that are like one click like
Career
that.
Builder.
Career Builder.
I mean, I don't use these websites.
Yeah, not at all. Those, because they've made it so easy for you to just literally throw your resume out there, it's flooded the market again. So it's made it even, not only does everybody know about the job that you're applying to, but now everybody has applied to it. And if, say for instance, this company doesn't have an HR team, you know what I mean? Like,
What
which
if
a
there's
lot
some
of
way to
them
buffer
don't.
some of that shit?
ATS. That's what I was saying. Applicant tracking systems do that. They eliminate all the resumes that don't have certain keywords in them. So if you don't have like
the words they're particularly looking for,
yeah, they'll throw your resume straight in the trash. And
into
so
the garbage.
Yup. Then no one will even see it, and then people can just pick between the ones that sound the most, that are the most comparable to the job description, basically. And those will be the ones that get contacted. And it's brutal, but it's a double-edged sword because a lot of people know of all of these jobs now, which is good. If you're looking for a job, you can't go without finding them, but now you have to compete against everybody, including people who are nowhere near qualified for it.
And that's why networking is important.
Facts.
What? You look like you're writing a novel right now. Like you're writing your memoirs in like Tuscany.
You look like the Mexican version of Tobey Maguire in the third Spider-Man movie.
Preach. Preach, brother.
Goodness.
Preach, brother.
Oh,
Jeez.
Okay, so for those of you at home who can't see, Eddy is underneath.
Oh my fucking goodness! What happened to this?
Yeah, man. That fell
He's
apart.
underneath several stacks of paper while wearing a robe writing his memoirs in the dark.
pull up a picture
Dude,
of
my hair's been wild today.
Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire, and just like
Even this hair right now.
imagine him as a Mexican. That's about it.
Damn.
And put a sombrero over it.
Maybe I should write my memoirs.
What memoirs?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That book ain't selling, dog. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you're gonna be at Barnes and Noble staring out into emptiness, it's gonna be more clear than the lines at BlizzCon this year.
He's gonna.
The memoirs of a millennial.
Your memoirs
You might
will be a
get a
pamphlet.
I was like, you been what? You've been grown for all of 6 years.
What if that's enough?
And he writing memoirs. I'm 6 years deep, and some old dude walk by like, man, I got shoes older than you, and it just like hurt your whole soul.
Yo, one of my
That's why you gotta keep pushing.
Right? So you gotta push through.
one of my managers
memoirs
told
of
me
a young
that when I
millennial.
got-
There.
one of my managers told me that when I got hired because it was one of my like earlier jobs, and she was just like, I got shoes older than you. I was just like, I mean, I wasn't gonna tell you that you was old, but
Right.
Oh.
I mean, that just means you're more relevant, right?
One of my like aunts on my mom's side, I was like, I went to dinner with her when I was out in Oakland like earlier this year, and I went to go like pay, and they were just like, nah, and I was just like, nah, I got it. She was like, why am I listening to you for? Like just like that condescending like, because I'm so much younger, because she's like in her 60s, I want to say. It's like, because there's such a big age difference between us, it was like, oh, my bad. I gently put my wallet back in my pocket. It was like, what am I listening to you for?
I didn't realize.
Exactly, you half my age.
But maybe people should write about their lives young, right? Because then you have a different perspective once you get old.
I think it'd be interesting for your personal use, though.
Yeah.
Like, you write about what life felt like at the time that, you know what I mean? Like, at
You write
this
what it
time.
feels like now.
That's
Right.
called a journal
Yeah,
Yeah.
or a diary.
a diary.
Right.
Diary.
Nate has diaries.
or a blog.
Yeah, but blogs
Or
are.
a podcast.
Yeah, I guess that's true too. The podcast.
Fuck.
Fucking A.
Oh, that hit me hard.
But a podcast are not writing.
No.
Thank God, because I hate reading and writing.
Man, I know you do.
And I can't tell you how many thousands of job descriptions I've read.
The last book he read was an anthology of job descriptions. Indeed, an anthology.
And speaking of which, so if anyone listening here ever puts out any job posting, if you ever like filter back their old episodes, put the address of your company on the fucking description.
Yeah,
It is. Why are some of these companies so fucking hard to find?
That's true.
That's
yeah.
that's a very good question.
I've
Today's
spent
2018. It should be very easy.
I spent 30 minutes trying to find where this place is.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I typed it into Google and it's like, I don't know.
Google was like, go to Bing. Bing.
They said refer to Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, and Ask Jeeves didn't load.
And I just said, well, ma'am, Chris isn't working right now.
Right? West.
See, the problem is, what you need to do is open Internet Explorer.
IE7, aka the bane of any web developer's existence.
The bane of anyone that has a computer. That
Exactly. It's like, oh, what you mean you can't load this HTML script? You can't load this shade of red? What? That's a computer thing.
I'll use Firefox real quick.
Or NetBeans. Netscape. That's it.
Damn.
Let's bring it back to Netscape.
The Charter Internet.
Or them AOL discs. That's as far back as we go. All right, let's continue on.
What were we saying?
Exactly. That should be the name of this podcast.
What were we saying?
What was I saying? That might be our motto from now on. What were we talking about? Yo, I like that.
Yeah,
I actually like that.
that was good.
what we talking about?
Because I think that comes up like pretty much every episode.
That's the most consistent thing in this episode next to the name Pumpernickel Podcast. What was I talking about?
Son of a bitch. My EDD hurts.
Right? My ED.
Oh.
My ED burns.
Well, yeah. What we're talking about?
Damn it.
No, seriously. I'm
Look at the camera.
I
I
know
know
you're
you're
serious. No. I was
You
paying
dead ass
attention. I
serious.
was paying attention.
But nah,
I was paying
No,
attention.
some of these job descriptions also, I don't know if it's a formatting issue or people are lazy as shit or they don't know any better, but it's literally a block, like a 6-paragraph block of words.
I think you know what it is. I think it's a mistake in the.
Formatting?
I'm going to blame on the formatting of the site itself, like Indeed.
I hope so.
Because you can have really great formatting and then it gets fucked up because of the system.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
like
just do a bad job
one of
with that
the
stuff.
one of the things that I work with on a regular basis, like
That's you, right? That's 100%
okay.
what he. Yeah.
I'll put in spaces and inners and like I used to not make a number list. I would just like give people like kind of bullet points per se. But I would like, enter in all these spaces so it will be easier for people to read. And if somebody hit me back and was just like, can you number these? And then like when they like sent it back to me, it was just this giant ass fucking block of text. And I was just like, that's not what I sent you at all.
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah,
What the
Indeed
fuck
sucks.
is this? Yeah. And so like, it still hasn't been fixed, but
Right.
But I guess the people who put the postings don't care because I guess they still find whatever they're looking for.
oh yeah, no, it's like, if you want this job, you figure it out. But
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not reading, 10 pages of Webster's Merriam Dictionary for this shit.
well, you don't want the job hard enough. Apparently.
I don't. I don't.
Which is fair.
That's fair. That's fine. Yeah, that's a way to.
What bothers me is when a lot of companies ask for like this magical amount of stuff. Like it's like
Yeah, like, who
that's
got this?
yeah, like that's
Yeah.
Oh
Bro,
yeah, we need like 10 years.
Yeah.
We need X, Y, and Z. You need to have this green
We need-
belt and a black belt
we
too.
need 10
and
years
no-
into technology you don't know anything about. Like God bless, like I said, this current company, man. Like I'm not gonna name them, but the ones that I just applied to and got in, because the interview I had before this, it was like I showed up early. I showed them like I did the initiative. I showed up early. I was like ready to go.
When you're supposed to do it.
Right, and I get in and they don't really know what to do, so they had me sit down and do a test.
Brr?
And then like I went in after the test and they were just like, and then we talked about like what they wanted after the test, and we were like, yeah, we want somebody more senior. And I was like, so why are we wasting?
Yeah,
like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, why are we wasting my time with this? And it was like
That's
a kind of a startup
100%,
company, and I wanted
yeah.
support because I was like, oh, this looks like a cool like place or a cool thing to work for. But then I got bad vibes. You know what I mean? Like it was like, this doesn't feel, the energy's not right. Like this doesn't
Yeah.
feel good. And I
Yeah,
got out
that's
of
the way
there.
they're treating you now. It ain't gonna get no better.
Exactly. If this is how you show us like what you are, then yeah, I'm out. This is not a good idea.
I didn't mean to cut you off. So this is why I hate recruiters. I've had a bad experience. So through a recruiter, I got a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
Showed up, regular, got my suit on, like kind of on time, a little early, whatever. They didn't know I was coming. I showed up. I said, "Oh, I'm Nathaniel. I'm here for the interview with whatever the guy's name was. I can't remember." They said, "What?" "Yeah, I'm here for the interview with whatever." "Oh, we don't have you scheduled for anything." I was like, what?" So, sorry, we'll try and get somebody else real quick. He's not here today. I was like, okay. So they pulled some dude walking from the hallway to try to talk to me. He's like, I'm going to a meeting. I was like, what is this place?
Right, exactly.
What's going on here? So I get up to I guess the equivalent of an engineering manager who would be my boss at the time.
Yeah.
I said, so what are you looking for this role? It was a CNC programmer. So he's like, okay, I want you to learn, this, and this. And I said, okay, I can probably, I don't know those specific things, but I can learn them, no problem. But in a couple of years, I'd like to, eventually move to a more managerial state, kind of away from manufacturing, less blue collar. He's like, oh no, I want you to stay doing this. I was like, who the hell would agree to that?
No.
Who's going to agree to not up front?
That's true. I guess.
I might as well put my own money and start a plumbing business.
Right. I guess there are different types of people, right? Like there's different types of expectations for that. Like a lot of people just go to a job because it's a job.
Yeah.
And I said, and that doesn't matter what field you're in. Like every field has people that are that way, that are like, I'm not looking to go up.
Grinder?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that because they find value in their personal life. So they're like, I would rather focus on my personal life stuff, and work is just a source of income, not someplace.
But
where
to
I'm
blatantly
missing
tell a young person,
right, that's
asking
true.
for growth,
especially millennial, yeah, and somebody who literally asked for it, like who was like, look,
Well,
I'm trying to move up.
On a good note though, better he be upfront with you about it.
That's real.
Than
True.
you get hired and then
And
be
then
like,
find that out.
and then find out like 5 years down the line, like, hey, like, you know, like, can I move up? Nah.
Nah, dog.
Oh, like I work now.
Oh, don't do that.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest problems with one of the companies I was working with a while back. Because I was trying to, I came in, I was like really putting in a lot of work, and I was trying to like go up in the company, and then somebody that was in my department got a promotion, and they were the same position as I was, and I was like asking them like, oh, like what you know, what are you doing now, your new role now that you've been promoted? So I'm doing the same thing. I just got a job title and like a small pay bump.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And then like it was at that point that I started looking a little bit more at like the org chart, and I was just like, this person's been here for 25 years. This person's been here for like 30 years. This person's been here for like 35 years, and nobody's planning on going anywhere. So the only way for me to go up is for someone to literally die.
That's about right, yeah.
It's just
Retire or
like-
die.
Yeah, it's that old quote that it's like, if you don't want your boss's a job, you should leave. Like, if you look at your boss's life and you don't want that, then you shouldn't be there.
I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that's fair.
And but like there are also like just a lot of companies that like that I've had experience with that it's just like they have people that have no aspiration. Like they're like, and the company doesn't have any aspiration for these people.
Right. That's the part that's
And that's
You need some of those people.
yeah, now don't get me wrong, you definitely need people that like
Grind.
That grind. Like everybody needs
Everybody needs grinders.
Yep.
everybody needs like, you know, boots to ground folks. But like at some point, you know, people above are going to either get promoted or go somewhere else or
Die.
pass away or whatever, and you're going to need to have somebody that has the
That doesn't want
ambition
to grind and wants to, exactly.
yeah, that wants to like move up. And like if you don't have anybody for that, then you're screwed. Because what's going to happen is you're going to end up promoting somebody that wants to be just a grinder, and they're just going to be terrible at their new position.
Oh, I know a few of those.
Yep.
And like
And seniority does not mean that much.
it, man.
Preaching to the choir.
As a young manager, like I'm the youngest person on my managerial team by a decade.
Yep.
And most of the people that I supervise are twice my age easily, and it is a hassle to get a lot of stuff done.
Do they give you the, oh, you're so young, you don't know anything?
No,
Oh, good for you.
they don't. Well, I mean, like they don't. Like people are subtle about it. Like they don't outright say that, but they're very much so like, I don't want to do what you were telling me to do, so I'm going to do everything I can to not do it.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
The only thing I can suggest is you try to find what internally motivates somebody, but that's hard. You can't just straight up ask somebody because most people don't introspectively look at themselves that much.
Well, like the problem is the point where I am with, well, the point where most of these people are, they're in their point of seniority where like they're not trying to do anything else. Yeah. They're at their point where they're grinders now. They have no more ambition to go up. They're not trying to do anything else. They're just trying to ride out what they currently have, and that's it.
Yep. Till they retire.
Till they retire.
They're
Yeah.
just planning their next trip to Cancun.
Right. I think that's fair. Like, you know, like how we say like work-life balance though. Like we always think of it from the standpoint of work taking over your life, but I think those types of people let life take over their work. You know what I mean? Like there's a reverse of that. So
I never thought about that.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's like that. Like a lot of people go into their jobs and are just like, I'm just gonna cycle through I'm gonna go through the motion so I can go live my life. You know what I mean?
But I think that, let's say you work for 8 hours, you just do a 9 to 5. Having that attitude for that long, I think would be so ingrained into your psyche that sort of toxic attitude would carry over into your life, and you would never progress either way. You'd just be a stagnant sort of log.
I agree. Yeah, like I think that lack of balance hurts both ways. Like if you are too work oriented, then you lose out on major parts of your life. If you're too life oriented, then you don't excel at your work. So it's like there's a little bit of both on both ends.
Yeah, I think I'm certainly like having just a drive to do better at anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an all or nothing sort of thing. Either you got it or you're just kind of sitting around.
Yeah, I think there are those that have a drive the other way, right? Like I think that there are people whose drive is there's two. I guess there's a bunch of categories. So it's like one where you don't have a drive for either. So you just live your normal life and you live your work life and you just ride it out until the end. There's there's the excitement for one and non-excitement for the other. So it's like I love my work, but I don't really too much care about my personal life, which you learn a lot about work ethic in your work life, but it doesn't really translate to your personal. And the reverse happens the same way. It's like there are a lot of people who pride themselves on their social life or the way they interact with people. You know what I mean? Like there are people who party, and we make fun of people or like. Now outside looking in, we're like partying is so shallow, but it's not. Like there are a lot of people who interact and who network that way and who learn a lot about other people through their playtime and not necessarily through their work. Work is just work, yeah. So I think it goes. I think all of them goes in different ways. You know,
make time to have fun,
right?
But also find fulfillment in work.
That's a good place to end it on.
That's what,
yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm aiming for. Fulfillment at work.
Yeah, I think we're all aiming for some form of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
because socially it's all good.
I think the
good
people
friends,
that have like kind of resigned.
We're good friends.
As like resigned any form of like ambition in like their older years, I think have lost that ability for finding fulfillment at work.
Yeah,
I think they've either they couldn't find it when they were in their prime, and so they just gave up, or they're at a point now where they just don't give a shit anymore, and so they just like are just like, whatever, this is as fulfilled as I'm gonna get. So, and then they just resign themselves to that, and they just don't try any harder. But hopefully, everybody listening to this podcast either is fulfilled or can find fulfillment. And if you are having difficulty with it, or just have some comments on any of the shit that we said,
follow the Pumpernickel podcast on Twitter.
That'll cheer you right up.
That'll cheer you right
Google
up.
Pumpernickel podcast. Click on the YouTube links. Listen to us.
Remember, like Biggie said, sky's the limit.
Right. Keep trying.
That's
last about not stop. Yeah, don't stop trying.
Don't stop believing. All right, y'all.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Exactly.
So follow us on Twitter.
Yep.
At Pumpernickel Pod.
Exactly.
Mr. Pumpernickel P Podcast.
Yep. The
Visit our
website is
website.
up. Yep.
www.pumpernickelpodcast.com.
Yes, sir.
Drop us a line, an email. Leave us a comment on Twitter. Comment on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. We'll be on iTunes soon enough.
We'll be happy to comment. We'll be happy to discuss whatever your comments are, pictures, videos, whatever you want to send us. We'll talk about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right, y'all. It's been another great week.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.